Today we're going to talk about the compare pages utility in gint. This is comparable to the GDW compare utility that we use for certification, except it goes into much more detail. The GDW utility compares by entity numbers. It assumes that entity 26 in one is the same as entity 26 in another. Whereas with the gint utility, it matches up entity ID and the min-max values. It finds similar ones in both and compares those properties. And the ones that don't match up with any other page or drawing are listed as extra entities. And further, it goes into much more detail in that it will tell you exactly which property is different as well. So our GDW utility is working great, but occasionally something comes up and we can't figure out what's wrong, if anything is wrong. And at that point, switch over to the gint utility. And that came up recently with the sitemap, and what we found was that there were no differences. Somehow the order of the entities became different for some reason. And so all we had to do was rebase the file. So if this comes up again, wanted to show you how to do that check. So let's get into gint. Let's get out of here. All right. This works in any gint drawing application. Reports, symbols, general drawings, wherever. So we're just going to show you quickly. I've got a report here. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to copy it to YY and overwrite it. Okay, now just do a quick comparison. It's under File, Page, Compare Pages. And, sorry, that was error before. And show you a list of all the log reports. You can't compare a log report to a fence report, for example. And it will show you the entire list except for the one you're on. So you're not going to see YY here. We're going to compare it to XX. You can compare actually to more than one if you wanted to. And there we go. And you could also show a list of similar entities. It's rarely used. All right. And it does show some slight differences in the page properties, which we're not interested in our GDW compare. There are no layer differences. And there are no differences in entities. And there are no extra entities. So, as we expect, there should be no difference. Now, let's get down to the problem of the sitemap was different between in our GDW compare. So what I did is I went into the GDW, let's see, under Utilities, GDW baseline, and I found the baseline file, which was Canada 16. Copy it, and I put it in my temp folder, and paste. Where to go? There it is. Sorry about all the sirens. I'm close to the street here. And take the read-only property off. We go back into gint, and let's go to output, and we're going to regenerate the file, and we're going to execute the script. I should have it in my recent file list. There it is. And we're not going to execute the script because the script will generate it to a PDF. We're just going to load full spec. That will load everything up. It'll do everything execute script does except the actual execution. And it puts us where it should be with the appropriate report and the proper file, all that good stuff. But I'm sorry, it'll go to a GDW, but not the GDW we want. we want to send it to the GDW I just copied, which is here in temp. And we're going to open in general drawings, and we're going to export, and we're going to append to it. And here's the new one. The baseline is called 1. And now, it doesn't matter which one you're on, just compare one to the other. File, page, compare pages, and we're going to compare it to 1. Again, there's some page property differences because of the printer in effect. Obviously, I don't have that printer, so the program reverted to my default. And we're going to find no differences in the layers. We are going to find two entities that are different. And we know about the date stamp, of course, and the logo area, the company information area, was my default on my system was this, and on the system where the base file was generated, it was just this. That's it. No other differences, and there are no extra entities. So that's the way I knew that the two were exactly the same, and we could re-baseline these. So it's a handy little utility. I've used it a couple of times with our GDW compare. It's not needed very often, but when you need it, it's there. And someday I would like to see our GDW compare just take the code from gint and use it. Of course, we'd have to translate it to C#, but it gives much more detail. But we'd hold off until we really need something like that. At this point, it's worked very, very well. All right, please contact me if you have any questions. Thank you.